Now, don't hate just because I'm on the cooking set with the Eakins. Stay tuned to see what they're cooking up now. My name is Yvonne Lewis Shelton, and you're watching Urban Report. Hello and welcome to Urban Report. My guests today are Curtis and Paula Eakins. They are co-directors of Health Seminars, Inc., lifestyle counselors, authors, chefs, and health evangelists. Welcome to Urban Report.
Put it all in there, didn't you?
She got them all in there.
I had to get it all in. I had to get it all
Make me clap myself. I want to hear more about these people.
You guys, I have to tell you, and I know you know this, but you are two of my favorite people. Because not only are you so committed to ministry, but you're also so committed to each other. You're so committed to getting out great food. I mean, and you're super committed to evangelism, and I'm so excited about what you guys are doing. You know, so we have a lot to cover.
Okay.
So I want to first talk about, you know, you co-host Abundant Living, which is a program on Dare to Dream and on the Parent Network. And it is a great combination of food, you know, recipes and cooking, and also health tips. Because you are an ND, a naturopathic doctor, and you are a nutritionist, and it's like, this is a marriage made in heaven, right? Literally, right?
And we really believe that, Yvonne. We really do.
Yes. And it shows. It really shows. So how long have you guys been, for those who don't know you, who have never seen Abundant Living or have never seen you on, you know, the Parent Network or Dare to Dream, how long have you been doing this health evangelism?
Well, on Abundant Living, this is our 21st year. 21 years ago, we started taping Abundant Living.
Wow.
And so we've ran out of how many times we've done it, over 300 plus shows, I guess, over the years, the lives and that kind of thing. So we're glad to be on Dare to Dream.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
put a spark in her eyes when I said that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So we get a lot of calls from Dare to Dream audience as well, and so we're happy about that as well.
That's great, because you give so many tips on, you know, hypertension, what to do about diabetes, hypertension, cancer.
Yes.
And so your program, and what I love about it, is it's not just cooking, it's cooking and health information. So, you know, when people watch Abundant Living, they should have a little notebook to take some notes, because there is some real interesting and informative and necessary information that you guys give. One of the things that I'm so thrilled about is the health evangelism that you've been doing. Tell us about what you're doing in the communities and how it all came about.
Well, about a year and a half ago, I've been doing my reading in my room, my study. And we've been going to churches throughout our district in the South mainly, and going to the church, talking about healthful living, etc. Then we come back home, and it just wasn't as fulfilling.
Why?
Because we're not reaching the community, just reaching the people in the church.
Okay.
So when we come back home, people in the community probably is about 1%, if they happen to be at that church for that weekend. So we really need to go more into the community. When you go more into the community, you draw more of the community there, up to 30%, past 70% when it's in the community, away from the church.
So what you're saying is you were going into churches,
right,
and you were preaching to the choir, basically.
Yes, that's right.
Because
absolutely.
It's just like people, we're having a health weekend with the Eakins. They're going to have a cooking class. We come in, and it's just like, you know, the regular people from the church, but nobody, maybe 30% from the community. And that's it.
Well, in the church. In the church. Yeah. Really nobody from the community, unless they be a visitor on that day.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's all church members, which is fine, but it's not as fulfilling, because Jesus' ministry was to the community.
Right.
Not just to the Jews, but also to the Gentiles and everybody else as well. So we were impressed by the Holy Spirit to take it to the community. And it just opened up the floodgates. I mean, it really did. And we're just so excited. It's much more fulfilling when you see people of all classes come in from all ethnicities, all denominations, all church affiliations come in to learn about health, because even agnostics, infidels, also have high blood pressure.
That's right. And you know what? It's interesting because Jason was just telling me the other day that he was looking for a vegan restaurant to go to while traveling, and there was a sign of a Baphomet on a website, the satanic symbol, at a vegan restaurant. So even, you know, all this crosses all lines.
It does.
All kinds of people want to know about healthy eating, even if they're, you know, even if they're Satanists or whatever. But
that's true, though. You made a good point, though.
They're crossing all lines.
Yes.
What you have to offer is the gift of all gifts, Jesus Christ. Is that he's at the center of what you're teaching. So let's go back for a minute, because I want our folks to hear and know how you came to desire to do more within the churches, because to reach outside of the churches, to do more evangelism, because what's happening is you were going to these churches and only the church members were showing up.
That's right.
When you went back home, what were you thinking?
It's just not enough. It's not as fulfilling. It's just not enough. It's just not as fulfilling. That's all I can say. And more I read about one Christian author in particular in the life of Jesus Christ and his ministry, I realized we need to really move out from the church into the community. So reading, praying, and it's just, we just really just take it to the community. So it was just simply unfulfilling. That's all I can say.
Was it the same for you, Paula?
It was, exactly. I told Curtis, it's almost like we're just playing tag with the church. And we know that there are pastors that really are into evangelism, but it just seemed like they just, when we would come that weekend, they would just be the members. And we would, after a long trip, and then just coming, doing the same thing over and over and over again. We just kept saying, enough of this.
Right.
And once Curtis said to me about, you know, let's move it outside the church into the community, honest and truly, it just really made a big difference.
Yeah, so how did you do it? What'd you do?
Well, number one, we got some funds from the North American Division Ministerial Department head. We knew him personally.
From the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, for those of you who don't know.
And let me back up. The churches we're talking about are Seventh-day Adventist churches too, those churches in particular.
Right.
All right. So I'm glad you made that statement. So, of course, we just more or less contact the Marriott hotels.
Okay.
In these cities that we're going to. Now, it's been about a year now since we've been doing this. The health message is such a high-quality message. Let me just say this, because some people may take this the wrong way. It's such a high-quality message, we couldn't just take it to a community center. It had to be of a quality facility because of the quality of the message.
Come on.
It had to match that.
Right.
I can say a little bit more. I think they got that. So therefore, we're talking about the Holiday Inn, Hampton Inn, the Marriott Hotel conference room, and if a small city, we go to small cities too, they do not have those. They may have a convention center. We go there, and it's 2 days. Saturday afternoon, 3 to 6, Sunday afternoon, 3 to 6.
Okay, now why those times?
Okay, Saturday afternoon for Seventh-day Adventist Christians, they still go to church, come home, eat, they have enough time to come to the workshop starting at 3 o'clock. For those who go to church on Sunday, the same scenario. So that 3 to 6 window is perfect. You don't have to get off of work. You don't have to worry about traffic, evening rush hour. It's perfect for those 2 days.
Right.
And it just matched. So there's 6 hours of information we can put in, be it any particular main topic. We can cover any topic in 6 hours.
Wow.
So that's why those 2 days and those 2 time slots were mentioned for that health conference.
And what kind of response have you gotten?
Okay, honey, would you?
we have a sign up where they actually register for the program. That way we kind of get an idea. Not only the registration, he actually has a registration for it, a certain deadline for it, and then we already know when we're going to town how many people are already signing up. Like right now we have a project coming up next month, and we already know how many people are already showing up, and it's just getting started. So the thing that's so good about it is we get a chance to know who's coming. We get a chance to know also even their spiritual backgrounds, churches they attend, because that's on there also as well, you know. And so it is, we get so excited when it starts getting, the lineup comes up, and then we're like, okay, it's a go, it's a go, it's a go. And then when we actually have the day, people even who have not signed up but heard about it, either on TV or radio, because when we go to those towns, they know ahead of time. We've already advertised. It's in the newspaper under public, you know. It's also on the TV. It's also on the radio. That's right. So some people show up and just say, I saw it.
Oh man, see, this is so good, because this is evangelism.
Yes.
We have a clip that we want to show.
Okay.
That kind of shows it shows what you guys have been doing, and we want to show that. But before we do, I just want to ask you one thing. Have you felt the difference now that you've been going into the community? What difference has it made in your walk with the Lord?
Oh man.
It's made a tremendous difference, because when I see and read in the Word of God and one other Christian author, when I see it on the pages of Divine, I've been reading this for so long. I told my pastor, I said, I'm sick and tired of reading. I just want to go ahead and do it.
Come on.
I read it, reread it,
Yes.
underlined it, and scored it. Okay, I know what to do. Just go ahead and do it. So when it's done, see the people there, the doors open up. They're there like 30 minutes before we open up the doors.
Wow.
Several come hour, 2 hours away just to come there.
To an hour away. We've had them come as far as an hour, hour and a half
away
from the conference.
Because we do radio, TV, PSAs, newspapers, and all of that. So it's just so rewarding. We just look forward to the next venture, which is next month. And well, I don't know if I can say this because maybe dated, but it'll be coming up. So we just look forward to the next event. Right now, we're booking more than 12 months ahead of time.
Wow,
right now.
that's wonderful.
Yes.
But I was going to say the thing for me is that we both hate to see people hurting.
Yes.
Now remember, they're coming to these conferences, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, so they're coming with specific things going on with them.
Right.
And when they come in that room, it's like you can just feel the hurt, the things they're on and what they're doing. And they're almost like, I told Curtis one time before, it's like they're clawing at you.
Yes.
I just need your help. And you can feel that they're going through something, which once you just like, okay, God, whatever you want to do here, whatever we can do with them. And they follow us after the programs are over. They call us up and email us. So we make friends with people.
Yes. You develop relationships with them, right?
And think about it, let me just say this. The Seventh-day Adventist Church understands the importance of the health message, so it backs this venture.
Right.
Therefore, these two-day conferences are free and open to the public. Praise God to the Seventh-day Adventist Church in general that sponsors these free wellness conferences throughout the South, which is mainly where we have our conferences here in the United States.
That's wonderful. Well, let's take a look at this clip and find out what people think about it.
All right.
I really enjoyed the Healthy Heart Conference. I come to any and everything that Paula and her husband, Curtis, put on about health because I learned something new every single time. My biggest takeaway this time was about red grapes, about how they help to heal the heart and everything. I just was amazed by that.
Learning about strokes, hearts, how to prevent them, eating more healthy food, eating non-processed food. If it has a label, don't eat it. Eat the stuff that's healthy. That's stuff you go for. And I love their conferences. You can come more than one time, more than 2 times, and you're still going to leave with information you never even knew you knew.
They tell you nothing is free. Well, you missed it if you did not come to this conference. It was awesome. So much good and free information. To God be the glory. We need more of this, but it should not always be free.
So I heard things that I know that I'm going to use immediately. The ginger, the hawthorn, I never had heard of that. Just natural ways to get your blood pressure down. Eating the right things, I probably knew that part. I just keep ignoring it, but I feel like kind of shook me up enough to where I'm like, I got to do something different. So I just encourage you, everybody. It was so well attended. So everybody, certainly make sure you get this information. It is literally life-changing.
Literally life-changing.
Yes.
What a blessing and what a privilege it is that God is using you to get this information out to people. Give us a few of the pointers that you, for example, heart disease.
Okay.
What are some of the things that people can do to improve their cardiovascular health?
Oh, boy. Well, that conference was entitled the Healthy Heart Conference.
Okay.
So that's 6 hours condensed down in 30 seconds or a minute. Yeah, so this, when you say this, okay, where can I start?
I know.
Let me just say this. That was in Huntsville, Alabama, by the way. Over 100 people. I mean, they came from like 2 hours away, from Chattanooga all over the place.
Wow.
Yes. The main thing is that one of the eye-openers that we talk about in the Healthy Heart Conference is that heart disease can and has been reversed by lifestyle. And we put a particular interest on one particular food group, the fruit kingdom in particular, right? That's why she talked about, oh, the red grape. That's one of the things we mentioned. That's why she talked about, oh, the red grape and other things too. So it can be reversed, plant-based diet, in particular, the fruit kingdom. So that's one thing that we really emphasize. And honey, about the woman's heart.
Okay, one of the things that really draws them the second day is that we do all this talking about cholesterol and AFib and everything having to deal with the heart. And then we say, but on tomorrow, we're actually going to do the heart of a woman. Yeah. Because we experience heart attacks totally different from a man, heart attacks and strokes. So they're coming because they want to know, okay, wait a minute, she's saying something different. It's not that big elephant in my chest. No, it's not for us, okay?
What is it for us?
It is shoulder pain. It is, you can actually be regurgitating continuously several months before that. You have nausea before that. This is coming on way before you get ready to have that first heart attack, all right? And the breathing problems where you're having a hard time breathing. And women are like, I never even have thought of those things. But we say the minute between the vomiting and the nausea, shoulder pain, having problems breathing, you need to get to a doctor. And when you go, we have to, as females, we have to say, I think I'm having a heart attack. I really do, because it's only when you say that, they will not send you home. Normally, they'll just send you home. And you know that you've got the signs already. Can I do an EKG? Because the EKG will show that there's something going on.
That's good. That is great information, because a lot of times as women, we can misdiagnose ourselves.
Yes.
And we'll just say, oh, I have a little indigestion. I just feel a little bit under the weather, but I can keep going. No, if you have these signs, even jaw pain.
Yes. That's another one.
Yeah.
They will send you to the dentist.
Right.
But it's a symptom of a heart attack. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
It's really, really important, really important. And I think a lot of times as minority women, we'll tend to put things on the back burner and think, it's not that deep, it's not that important, I'll be okay, let me just keep on going. Well, we need to keep up with these things and make sure that, we're doing well with them. So, go ahead.
Yeah, one other thing too, we have a lot of visual aids.
Yes, we do.
And also, the audience come up. We have an icebreaker. Let's talk briefly about the icebreaker.
Yeah,
honey.
they don't know who we are. They've heard about us, and here we come to this conference, and we're over 100 strong when they come into the meetings, okay? And so when they first meet us, they're like, well, who are they? Okay, they've heard a little bit. But the bottom line is that we have this thing, the first one called 5 things that you should know, but you really don't want to know. I need 5 volunteers. And some of them are not quite sure, but I said, if you don't come, I'm gonna pick you out. They just raise their hand up, they come up, and then they get vials of fat. We're talking about the heart now. They get vials of fat, and it shows how much fat is actually in a burger, in French fries. And they're supposed to just look at the vial and then tell what's going on, and behind them comes the sodium and the cholesterol and the saturated fat.
So everybody sees it.
Everybody's seeing it.
Everybody's
They're
seeing
in
it.
back of them.
Right, in back of them on the
And
screen.
they turn around, and like one lady, we gave these chicken nuggets, like 6 chicken nuggets. She couldn't believe it.
What?
She said, that's the end of that. I'm not going to feed my children all that anymore.
You know what? I think when people see for themselves and you show them what they're eating,
It was an eye-opener for her.
It's eye-opening.
I'm not feeding my children any more of chicken nuggets.
No, we just
it.
started. We just started.
That was just the
hadn't even gotten
icebreaker.
started.
But you know, this whole idea, this whole cardiovascular issue is so important. As you know, most of our viewers know, my husband had quadruple bypass, and thankfully his is not from diet, his is genetics.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. So can genetically induced heart disease also be reversed?
Yeah, let me say, as the saying goes, I have rephrased the saying, bad genes loads the gun. A healthy lifestyle keeps the finger off the trigger. So I think Danny mentioned in the one of the programs that some of his siblings or whatever had heart disease,
and his
whatever,
dad.
at a younger age than him.
Right.
But because of his lifestyle, was later on in years. So,
Right.
and then, so I mean, we can also reverse that. My grandmother, I mean, had bad genes as well, very bad genes. But because of her lifestyle, she lived to be 110.
Wow, she was such a
Right,
cutie
yeah.
too. Remember her? Yes,
Yeah, that's
yes,
right.
yes. Well, that's great info. I want to switch gears for
Okay.
a minute because I want to talk about what's happening on Abundant Living this season.
Okay,
What are you
all right.
guys doing on Abundant Living?
Okay, we're doing a series, and we did this at our church in Huntsville. It's called Healers. It's the acronym Healers. Healers. H, herbal medicine. E, eating. A, adoration, prayer, praise, music. L, liquids, water and juicing. E, exercise. R, rest. S, sunlight, and the Son of God. Healers. You go through that acronym, you can start cutting back on drugs, medication, and the baleful side effects safely and effectively with the knowledge of your primary care physician. So you go
Glad
through
you
that.
said that because sometimes
Yes.
people will just stop their medication
And don't say anything to
and
anybody
so-
else.
Right, and they'll
Right.
switch over,
Right.
and then they can get into big trouble. We're
That's it.
not telling you that.
That's right.
Know that we're
Absolutely.
not
That's
saying
right.
that,
That
but
is
we are
right.
saying that God has given us various things
Yes.
in the earth that we can use to get well, but always discuss it with your primary care
100%.
practitioner.
100%.
And then
Yeah.
with that, we have also the cooking portion as well.
Right.
And, one
And this
of
is on the
dishes-
program.
On the program.
Oh.
And one of the dishes, I think it's right in front of us. So I don't know.
Oh, that's a
I
great
don't know if we want to go there
segue.
now or what. Just,
Let's
you
go.
know.
Let's do the
And,
segue right now.
Honey, why don't you just
I'm
break it
telling you, we've
down
been having
for
a
her?
ball with the shows. A lot
What
of
is
brand
this?
new recipes.
Ooh, that looks good.
is, ready for this? Jackfruit. That's one of the new things out right now. Jackfruit. Which
Get
is
that face,
actual
baby. Got the
fruit.
face, honey.
It's a barbecue jackfruit with a coleslaw.
Okay.
And then we actually have our spicy potatoes, showing a different way you can do potatoes other than just frying them up. We're baking them with garlic and paprika and cumin and coriander. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Work it, baby, work it.
Yeah, we work
now, Now, tell a little bit about the jackfruit, just a little bit of history.
Okay, well, you know, I've been hearing a lot of stuff, so I thought I'd go and do some history on jackfruit. And jackfruit is actually a fruit that can be converted. It's actually growing from a tree, a huge tree, thick, big, and the fruit on it grows to be up to 125 pounds, the jackfruit itself.
It is the biggest.
125
It is the
pounds.
biggest tree fruit in the world.
So how does it must just sit on the ground?
No,
No.
come
How
from
can
a
it
tree.
hang?
It
It
has
hangs.
to come from a vine from one of the branches
thick
of the
Do
tree.
not want to get hit with the
No, you
jackfruit.
no.
And there's several in a cluster.
Yes, they grow in a cluster.
Oh, they're going to
They're huge, like watermelons.
So
bigger
do
than
you
watermelon.
peel them?
Oh,
You cut it with a machete. You cut the skin and open up. Then you take the
pods. The
take
pods are on the
out.
inside of it, and then inside the pod is a seed. That's how it's a fruit.
Okay,
the
yeah,
pod
fruit.
might be in the
Seed,
fruit,
right.
seed in the
Right.
middle.
Right.
And so it's a lot of work, but it's basically in your countries like
India.
Jamaica, India,
Like Asia.
Asia,
the
yes.
tropical places. But they're bringing it to the United States. You know, everything comes back to U.S.
Of
eventually.
course, of course.
So, but when we get it here, we're actually getting it at an Asian market, and we're getting it in a can already ready to go because
Okay.
this thing is gigantic.
Yeah.
We actually showed on our program what it looked like and the inside of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you hook it up with.
We hooked it up. We
Because
just-
that is looking
Well, you know,
mighty good, I gotta tell you.
People are looking for things like, pulled pork for those who still eating the pork thing. We're trying to get them converted over.
Right.
And they all pulled chicken.
Right.
In the South, this is what they eat.
Right.
So how about when you take this fruit and you shred it up inside of a food processor, it looks just like pulled chicken and pulled pork.
Really?
Come from a fruit
From a fruit.
From a fruit.
that has the taste between
Apples.
banana
mango.
Pineapple
Yep.
and all those flavors together.
So it's kind of a sweet, does it have a sweet
Yes.
thing?
Yes.
What's the texture like? Is it chewy?
It's chewy. It's soft. It's not chewy
that
like
chewy.
regular meat.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more, it's easier more to digest it. You don't have to do a lot of chewing of it, okay, because it is a fruit.
Right.
But when you shred it up, it looks like meat.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So vegetarians and vegans can eat it, regular meat eaters, they can all eat it, you know, and the barbecue, that's what does it. The barbecue.
Y'all
on
don't even
it,
know.
The onions on it.
Okay, yes.
Try to do things that it's not just education, but it's also the cooking portion as well. And God has blessed her to look at a recipe and figure things out. So that's what really makes this ministry really come alive.
Yes.
The application of the cooking information
And
and
see,
instruction.
that's so important because you have the information and then you have the application.
There you go.
Yes.
And that makes it so unique because you're not only telling people, you know, this is why this is good for you. Now this is how you can do this for yourself.
Yes.
And it's got to be foods that people are used to.
Yes.
We try to make sure, that's one of the things we like about Abundant Living and our Dare to Dream is that we want to have the foods that people are used to eating in a healthier format. So that's the most important.
And introduce them to new stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is what that is
Oh, yeah,
right
yeah.
there. You know, I got to tell you, I will take a potato any way you give it, baked, roasted, and fried, unfortunately. I mean, that potato right there,
girl.
ooh.
I'm a potato head as well.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah.
Love sweet potato.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, I'm
Yes.
just like, but I'm trying to, you know, not do all that right now.
Okay.
What is that?
That's the coleslaw, and that's a different coleslaw. Instead of just doing regular cabbage, red cabbage, green cabbage, and carrots, that's got broccoli in it and kale in it. So it's a different blend of a coleslaw.
It's called Super Blend.
Super blend is the name.
It always comes in a package. Super Blend, what it's called.
This is fabulous. You're going to have to watch Abundant Living just to get the recipes and the information. This information is so incredible. 30 seconds, what do you want to leave with the viewers? What do you want them to know?
Any disease that they have, it can be, to a certain degree, be improved upon by just making some adjustments to their lifestyle, right? They don't necessarily have to rely on medication all their life with the knowledge of the healthcare professional, but just make some minor adjustments to their lifestyle can lessen those dependence on drugs because of the belts of full side effects. Disease from drugs are the most incurable, most stubborn diseases. So we mentioned that as well.
That's deep right there. And we
my
got
main
5
thing,
seconds.
My main thing is God.
Yes.
The Lord needs help.
Yes,
Call him, ask him
yes.
to help you.
Bring them into the
That's
mix.
it.
There
You
you
gotta
go.
be in
That's
there.
it.
Okay?
Bring them into this. Thank you so much. You know I love you guys.
Well, thank you for
You're
having
so
me.
wonderful. And I love you too. I can't believe we've reached the end of another program. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make some of these changes, tweak it for yourself, and bring God into the mix. God bless. Join us next time because it wouldn't be the same without you.